Thanks for showing up. My name is Bruce Dennis. Now, I purposely undersold this talk. CPE sources. Yeah, we all know, we all have certifications. There's requirements for it. Okay, big deal. Years ago, I transitioned into a new job, and I was just swamped. I actually had problems getting, the 20 in, that 1 year. Normally, I handled a lot of CPEs. So, the 1 year, had some problems with it. Okay, don't want to have to ever get there. And usually people wait until December, like me, to record all the things. But a lot of people, hey, I never did that. I got to hurry up and get some. Okay, there's ways of making this a lot easier. So this does work, I know for a fact, for ISC, ISACA. It should work for CompTIA. Mine are so old that I never upgraded to their new ones on it. My understanding is this will work for PMI as well. Now, when I'm talking about certifications, I'm talking about obviously real companies, not just the garbage ones. Now, you ever see this company, OCEG? You want nothing to do with them. Yes. Now, I will read almost anything for education. Taking the test is optional for me, but I want to see what the material is. Hey, it might be something I can use for something else a little bit later. I've seen this one, okay, fine. They have a sale on it. I'll buy it. I'll read the material a little bit later. What I really, really should have done was to write that material up front, because what I found out was, okay, so the annual membership is $400. Okay, yeah, fine, whatever. Well, our CPE requirements, you have to do 8 hours a year. Who cares? All right, I didn't do that standing on my head. To maintain our certification, you have to have a membership in our dashboard. And you can only get the CPEs through our company. So I'm paying $400 a year for something that you go look at their certification and find out, and Google how many job openings are out there for them. Now, after I started mocking their CEO and their chief marketing and everything else, to this day, I still get emails. Hey, we have your personalized recommendations for you. When I'm calling you herpes that you will not go away and you keep popping up, that usually prompts somebody we should probably take him off the email list. These clowns? No, they still send me stuff. So this is not the type of company we're here to talk about. Don't use anything like this. Oh, actually, I'm toning it down. Now, we've all seen Udemy. Everybody gets Udemy, blah, blah, blah. All right, that's great. Now, here's why it becomes a little bit more important. I can go out and watch some videos on, Udemy, all right, well, hey, for $12, I don't know everybody else. My girlfriend has given me a list of things that she wants to go and see. She's going to be really annoyed if I use all my vacation time to go to conferences, even though she was here yesterday. She's not going to sign off on, can we do something fun? Or why is everything computers? Why is it? Okay, so again, had another job where one of the struggles was I couldn't get out to any kind of conference, something like this, to get it. I can watch it on my TV. There are times I've sat on the couch. All right, this is interesting. Did a couple of things, cleaned the room, and okay, I'm going through it. Now, again, Udemy, hey, it's some really good courses, but the trick of this one, though, is these Udemy courses, like I said, we're going to be naming names, exactly where to go. I can pull up a lot of things for free. There are coupons out there that, with this one, okay, learn viral. This website, okay, I can go in. Now, some of it is a little bit of Google dorking. Some of it's going through a couple things. I go to learn viral. I have, 60, 80 Udemy courses in my bucket, whatever they call it, the folders now. The vast majority I did not pay for. I went in okay, here's a subject I'd like. Oh, yeah, just click, 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 click. Check out. Dollars, $0. So Learn Viral is one of the ones that I've gone out to. Now, this is part of another talk, and I wanted to make this one shorter because a lot of these, again, don't even bother to take pictures, everything. You will get the exact names, like where to go with all of this. And we'll make this really easy and really quick. So, Coupon Scorpion. Okay, another place, more of the same thing. Again, like normally we talk a little bit more about these, but all of these, I can pull up something for free. Or I think a couple of them have started to change a little bit. Like instead of it being Udemy started off when I was working with them, was $8.99, $9.99, went up to $12.99. I'm getting them for significantly less with that one. Now, the reason I put Udemy up there itself is you actually can set a filter on Udemy for free courses. Most people don't realize that, but they offer some that, okay, they're using their own site as a marketing. They want people to come in like, okay, well, we want to sell our content on Udemy, some courses that are interesting, to me. And like, again, we're not, at this point, obviously I'm doing some things for CPEs, but hey, there's some music things that I went up there like, something I always really did, like, oh, that's a good bass technique. Oh, yeah. Hey, walking bass line. I'd like to practice that. It's in my card. Not that I ever watch these things, but I have a lot of content from Udemy. Now, that's not the only site that's out there. Now, at this point, now we're going to start talking about some other places where, okay, your mileage varies on what you're looking for. Udemy has a lot of content across a lot of different areas. Now, Udemy, I have found a lot of very good courses out there on IT. Now, again, I'm making this a shorter talk, but in my background, I came from something consulting where if I wanted to go to SANS, I'm paying for this myself. And I'm taking time off from work. This now equates to travel, everything else. It's now costing me $15,000 or so for a SANS course. Like, yeah, I don't really have that to be just giving up like that. A lot of these places have something on this page that are free or very, very low cost. Now, Ed2Go. I'm going to give you some caveats with it. Ed2Go is a site that they host a lot of content. You would see it on a community college page. Ed2Go is actually where they obtain it from. Now, with this, what you want to do is actually go to the Ed2Go site, look at the courses, and then try to find a community college that has it. For some reason, the community colleges offer it at a lower price than Ed2Go does itself. But not every community college offers the same courses. So if you see something on Ed2Go that, hey, I really like this one, okay, now I'm checking around who offers this course. Prices on this one, not too bad. I think I was paying maybe $20, $30 a class. It's a 6-week class. But I took some SQL, some Oracle, I took a couple other things on there. And again, it checked the box. Now, Fed VTE. If you have a federal account, work for the Fed in any capacity, they have some very, very good content out there. On that account, I have some PowerShell. I have some other courses on penetration, management. There's a lot of things. You need to be a Fed. They do check it once a year. So if your email has .gov or something of that nature on it, you can get into it. But very well, not always something that people know about in that space. I've gone out and like, hey, I need to learn some PowerShell. They have very good courses. Okay, now Career Academy. Now, this one is a paid annual subscription. I pay $99 a year for it. On there, a number of certifications, like, oh, you know something? I haven't taken my PMP yet, on my to-do list. And they have the PMP, and they have the updated PMP, and they have some other things. Okay, all right, so some other job functions that I do, such as the dashboards I need to create, the way I actually have to do some things for work. It's basically programming to Visual Basic. So there's some things, like I have limited resources on how do I do something inside of Excel at that level. I've actually found some parts out there, like from Career Academy. Now, Pluralsight. They started off a lot cheaper. They've been starting to inch their price up. I left them on. But again, another place that has some very good content on, hey, listen, I really want to go out and I want to pick up, let's see, all right, we have this one. And now, back in the day when you had the MCSE, okay, great. But they have all the content for it. We're going to start learning some of the more nuances of a couple other courses. Okay. They do have some good ones. Now, that being said, they've been inching their price up the last 2 years. So, I'm going to see about that one if I want to continue with it. Okay, OpenLearn. Pretty much what the name says. There's some self-explanatory ones on what you would kind of content you would find there. Now, the last two that are up there, again, not everything is always IT related. And I think in the field, as we start worrying about, okay, well, it's the latest technology, we really forget about the business side of something. Now, part of my job actually is taking some data and managing it where executives or something could look at the report and see where things stand. And at dashboard level, there was some pain in learning how to figure out how to do it. Some of the other courses are not always just computer related. If you cannot tie security into your core business, well, we're always thought as like the drain on resources to begin with, especially information security, like, this is just just blocking things. There's a couple courses I've looked at, like, something? Tying this in. Oh, yeah, something? Now I can start speaking the language. As you move on and you need to speak to the board. There's a couple courses in there that are not always just technical related that is worth taking a look at. Now, this last one I left up there, they've made some kind of change in the last couple months. Now, I have accounts with all of these things, and it's not just some random things that I like, oh yeah, I have Google it. A lot of this talk came up, again, as a consultant. I needed to get some sources that I don't always have time, or how do I learn, how do I do this one? So I have accounts in all these. The last one, Simpliv, or mispronounce it any way you see fit. I now get daily emails on stupid stuff. I don't know what happened, but a couple months ago, they suddenly started doing that one. Never had it before. I'm not sure, and it's one of those, be aware, you will get daily emails on stupid things. But, hey, we have this one. Yes. Most cases, it's not a big deal. They're the only ones that, like the OCEG, OCEG and like Simpliv are the only ones that email me constantly with, pinging, here's our stuff. There's one other one I'm going to point out a little bit later that I'm going to recommend you absolutely send it to an address over here. Somebody else, and there are times where you actually need that email to do some other functions with things. So if you don't like the daily ping of like, hey, our latest course is this. Oh, I saw it already. Get away from me. That one you might want to. Okay. Now, this one, we talked about some general sites. Now, we all in technology want to learn like what's some of the latest stuff. Like hey, I want to get into like some really what's something that can move my career. All right, VMware. Yeah, we've all heard of that one, and okay. All right, now VMware. You want to take the I'm sorry, I don't remember the VM certification, but I think it's a VCP. Okay. You need to take VMware course. Now, VMware course, $5,000, $6,000, $10,000, and it has to be the official one. You can't go to Joe Schmo and somebody else figure it out. Like, no, you need to go there. Again, you will have. We're going to be naming names exactly where. I took a VMware course, $200. I took it online, and it checked the box, and it got handed in for CPEs that year. And they did really help me with some things on work where, okay, we're going to start exploring these. And another one of my things that my company likes is, if we start this technology, you know anything about this? Yeah. So, picked up some VMware, Palo Alto. We always hear about Checkpoint and some of the other firewalls and Cisco. Palo Alto a lot of times flies under the radar. Palo Alto, again, another online course, looking for $180 is a very powerful piece of software. Okay, kind of heard about AWS. You watch football, and a couple of us do. Amazon now markets we have this great thing, power through AWS, and the statistical, he had a 2% chance of making this catch. Okay, so now, the reason I'm putting this up there is Amazon actually does have some training for free themselves. Like if you go through a couple of things, like, wait a minute, they have that one? And everybody talks about it. Amazon actually does have information up there. So, before you set up the account, and there's a couple of gotchas on some things, they actually do explain it to you. Now, Microsoft. Yeah, okay. Microsoft used to have a lot of hands-on labs. They've transitioned some things off. But they do have some things where you can actually punch into Microsoft, actually test some things online. Now, I'm not talking about the DreamSpark account. That's a whole different thing. This is some things that Microsoft runs themselves. And again, this is something else that low cost or free. Now, that's great. I've been sitting around at home a lot. What about getting out and meeting people? That's why we came here. This is specific to this area, but conceptually, anybody else said, hey, I'm not from the Philadelphia area, wonder if I can find some meetings like this. Now, ISSA, the local chapter here is the reason I got my CISSP. There was somebody I knew there that harassed me into taking the test. I had no intention of taking it. I don't know enough. It's too hard. He harassed me. Studied for 3.5 months, took it, passed. A lot of the reason I passed was because he had given me some advice on some things. And, okay, you want to do it this way, do this. He was right. Now, again, going out, somebody I had met 20 years ago. We were at a meeting, something else, we were talking, and he just always remembered me. You were smart enough for this one. I didn't think so. He was right. I probably would have never taken that test. Now, ISC2, obviously the sponsoring company for the CISSP. There's a local Philly chapter on that one. Again, another chance to start networking with some of your peers, reaching out to a few other people. Now, HTCIA, High Tech Crime Association, Crime Investigation Association. There's a Delaware Valley chapter. Again, another one that met a few people, talked. Very good resources. Membership is, I believe, $65 a year. There are some restrictions on it, they'll tell you on the site. They also offer training if you're a member. There's some very good content online. Okay, all right, sat down. Well, I'm gonna watch this one. Okay, Shell. That meets up, I believe, the third Thursday in Philadelphia area. The meetings start out. Okay, introducing, and everybody stands up, either that they're looking for a job, or hey, my company's hiring. Now, again, you're on the market. Hey, this is really okay. Hey, look, talk to some of these people. I've actually run into people in Virginia at BSides Charms. Wait a minute, I was sitting next to you, at Secure Shell 2 days ago. So the community is not always that small. Okay, NW3C. Now, in this one, National White Collar Crime Center. I always mess this one up. I want to look at that one. Again, another one, they have some very good training. That one, they've had a few things online. They actually do have some other pieces where in meetings, they're talking about, hey, listen, I've been the only IT person in there. It's all prosecutors for different parts of the state. So it's a little interesting seeing the other side of the table. But in going through, there's some things that, okay, so if we're doing warrants, On the subject, like, okay, now wait a minute. I can apply it. It's not always technology based. Okay, InfoGuard. Now, the Philadelphia chapter once a year has an annual meeting. 8 hours, at Pfizer. Ironically, I happen to be talking to somebody there. Josh just happened to walk by. That's how I actually found out about BSides. Just randomly, like, yeah, you should come out for this one. And then I sat and talked to Josh for another hour and a half thereafter. Didn't know Josh, hole in the wall, didn't know this dude, but yeah, pretty much. Okay, now, 2600. This is going to be a hit or miss, and it is, the first Friday. Sometimes, people show up, other times, whatever. I'm going to put it this way. Go into the area, you'll probably be able to pick out, like, that's where I'm trying to go over there. You'll be able to figure it out pretty easily, like, people are there. In the meantime, though, there's no agenda on this one. Like, listen, we're hanging out. Hey, here's what I'm working on. And shockingly, beers are usually somewhere before, during, or after the meetings. Billy InfoSec. Get another one. And then cyber beer. Now, this one a little unique. There is no agenda. Checkpoint sponsors this one. It is the second Wednesday of the month. There is usually wings, some other whatever thrown down on the table. You grab a seat, you talk to whoever you want to. There's no presentation, there's nothing, and you will talk about whatever you feel like. But also a very good time of, hey, listen, just some general networking, mention something else. Oh, hey, listen, I was working on a project like that. Like, oh, I'm just complaining about your employer. Anything goes in that one. Now, this is when it starts to become fun. Obviously, the cons is where we want to go to. And since my first one was BSides, okay, we all know about this one. But has anybody ever been to any other cities besides just this one? Okay, so if you look on BSides on the site, I was in talking to a friend of mine. She's in LA. Like, I actually sent her the BSides main page, not just this one. She doesn't work in IT, but she does research. She has a doctorate. She's scary smart. So we were talking about something else. Like, you would actually enjoy this. Now, coming from academia, you're very polite and everything else. You don't like this one, you get up and leave. And you go to some other cons, they might even throw some stuff at you. That's a foreign concept to her. She didn't know what to do with that one. But it's something that obviously all of us here, hey, we really enjoy it. It's about sharing the knowledge. Now, PumpCon. That's another one that has a little bit of alcohol that tends to be involved on it. And a little bit of information, a little bit more alcohol. MooCon. Now, if you're unfamiliar with that one, again, another one that is very interesting. Some very intelligent people show up, and they let me in regardless, despite the fact of the intelligence IQ points there. Now, how do we find out about all these different things? There are sites that list, hey, I can get a con schedule. I don't have to find from the organizers. There are other ones that actually just list this for me. And then if I'm looking random, like, hey, listen, I hadn't heard of that con. What is my schedule for next year? Which is the list of cons. Now, interesting reading sources, learning locations. Now, community college, a highly overlooked resource. Now, most people have the degree or a little bit older. Okay, community college. I'm working on dashboards for work. Now, what I'm doing in Excel is Visual Basic Programming. There's some logic of comparing some things, and then if else then, and check this and do this and create this action, and okay, I don't have anybody I can ask. Community college has some courses I'm like, you know something? Okay, not bad. I can do this one. Also $150. If I go to some of the other corporate training, now it's like $700 for some. No, I can get in, get the parts that I need, and get out. And again, it is not always just IT-related things. Some of the business courses, some of the other things, like, something, I'm a little weak in this one. Let me take a look at this. the bang for the buck, community college is something that is an overlooked resource. Okay. Now, I'm going to start running through some of these because at this point, again, in the links, you're going to notice, like security aggregate, everybody has their favorite sites we all look at. And I've been in an interview and people have asked like, hey, where do you keep up with your latest security news or you know something about this one? And we could all name about 3 or 4 sources. Now, had I really thought about this, I would have cached the page or showed it up there, but there's a site that I can go on there and it will list, if everybody gave me their top 3 pages they want to go to, it's probably on there. I go to one place, like, oh, okay, I want to see this article real quick, boom. I use that one when I have 15 minutes, like, all right, listen, let's read some stuff real quick. I haven't been out on anything last 2-3 days. I go to one place. I don't have to go to dark reading, then security week, and then Krebs. I go to one place, and from there I can leap over to the other ones. Security Tube. Now, obviously YouTube has some information, but there are cons like, something I just couldn't make it. I had a conflict of time, I just don't have the time, have something else going on. Some of the talks I really wanted to see, like, something, I do want to learn that. I can actually watch it through there. Now, Nessus, we've all heard of Tenable, and we're actually running the. Nessus has some information on their site, content on how to use their product themselves. Again, this is something free. Now, a lot of people, okay, we use this one. Like, okay, there's some switches. There's some other options on there that, okay, I could optimize this. I could do this one. But when a vendor has something, a lot of times, like, okay, take a quick look at it, and it's free. Sure, why not? Now, Kali also produces some content as well. There are some things on there, and the Metasploit, that for free. Now, this is, of course, not the end-all, be-all, but it's a very good starting place on, hey, listen, didn't realize, they have, the cookbooks for free. Okay. I want to take a look at that one. I could use some of that. Open security training. Another one that, okay, on the technical side, definitely have some things that, all right, really wanted to take a look at. Now, I wanted to fly through this, for this reason. Obviously, here's my contact information. And since everybody's going to ask me the same question, I said, don't worry about, where I can get presentation. My server, you can download it. The slide deck is in there. Additionally, there is a text file. The text file is the exact part, copy, paste, boom, go to everything. Now, the reason I did this talk was, all right, we started with CPEs, and I purposely undersold it for this. When I do it in a longer format and through something else, there are some things that I wanted to learn. In my home network, I'm setting up pfSense and Ubiquity and some other things. And okay, so Ubiquity, all right, it's got some great advantages. It's enterprise level networking. Okay, there's a Udemy course that somebody's solid content. You saved me 20 hours of me banging my head trying to figure out the same thing. Got to the right, boom, like, wait, I just start here. Oh, wait, I didn't know you had to do it that way. I didn't know I needed that piece. Something that I thought was a complete waste of money. Like, oh, wait, I need that? Ugh, all right. Save me a lot of time on it. And the configuration, and here's what I need to do with it. You have sense. Okay, it's not that hard to set up. But for what I want to do, I have 2 routers in my house. I have 2 networks. Okay, and I have 2 of the same VoIP providers on there, and I need to make sure that's configured so that doesn't get broken up, and I argue with them again. There's a lot of arguing with that company. That's when you start getting into engineering. You have a sense course on there. All right, 20 hours. Like, okay, yeah, set it up. All right. Oh, wait, I need to do it that way. I didn't realize that part. It's not always just about checking the box of the CPEs, guys. This is something like, hey, listen, I want to learn. Wait a minute. I keep hearing about this PowerShell thing. Like, wait, You don't always want to admit, like, hey, listen, I don't know anything about it. I don't know. Okay. 3 things that usually stop people from learning. You're too proud, too lazy, or you're too afraid. Wipe out those 3 answers. Kill those excuses. You can go out and do this. These are the resources where you can sit and learn and then start inspiring the next generation, the people behind you to come up, like, hey, start sharing the knowledge. These websites, like, look, all I did was, we've all, like, oh, they're on Google, you can do this one. Okay, it started out with something else. I collected them. People want to get into information security. Wait, how do I learn? How do I do this? I started collecting them and trying to organize all of them. Hey, you're trying to do this? Here you go. Go here. Read this one. Do this. Want this kind of skill set? This site over here. Yes? Okay. Yep. Um, I haven't seen what their requirements are. Like what you're saying, like, they're basically being. Okay. So ISC has a different domains, and you can. Okay. Okay, but for everybody else that's not as familiar with all the options of that. Now, when I took my Security Plus, I took version 1. And then I took Project Plus just to see if I could do it, basically. And I haven't gone back to them. I just haven't. No particular reason, I just haven't. I am grandfather. I don't have to do the annual ones with that. My understanding in talking to some other people from there is they like to see a well-rounded thought process, some other learning. So if you start on PowerShell, and then I go over to, let's say, auditing, what my understanding, again, like I've not dealt with them for handing anything in, is they don't want to see the same thing out of somebody else. They want you to continue to learn. So in going to Udemy, there's a lot of IT. Can I do the software development? Can I do information security? Can I do networking? You have that many options. That generally lets them check the box of it's not just the same thing over and over. And there could be areas that, like, hey, listen, I want to learn some database, things that you might be weaker in, whatever. I am interested in learning this. There should be enough options or things out there between all of these that they should be able to sign off on. Now, if they don't like the webinars, the meetings, cons. So, there are some other options with that. By the time I got to the end of this presentation, if you come here, you get your CPE. There's a letter up there. That kind of got done because I was the one that got audited and had to talk to Josh, like, can you send me this one, please? I forget it was ISC or ISACA, but I had to send something in. Josh, like, I don't want to deal with this again. Like, all right, look. All right, here. Fill it out. Okay. So he sent it to me, but if somebody else is doing it again, he has a process for that in place now. This is no longer just about CPEs. If I go to PumpCon, I'm not really getting a whole lot of, documentation out of that one. There's a couple that, like, okay, it became more about the learning, and that's what the CPEs are for. It's not just check the box, oh, I got to do this one every year. I hand in 100 plus just about every year because I do this, and hey, I'm at this meeting, I do this, I want to learn this one, I'm over here. I actually get flagged because I hand in so many as opposed to it. So like, my approach was like, look, take it off, don't care, because how many do I have already rolled over? How many have expired? Okay. Am I over the 120? Yes. I kind of don't care. I'm one of those. Like, at a certain point, like, I just literally, you take off whatever you want, and it'll just be replaced anyway. So, what do you want to do with it? And that seems to solve some arguments. When they think that they're kind of being scammed, that they have a maintenance fee or something, like, at that point, that's when they tend to be a little bit more particular with some things. You hand in consistently over the years, like, yeah, I do anywhere from 80 to 120 per year. Take it off. Don't care. It's going to be replaced. And they pulled up my record like, yeah, all right, good enough. That was the end of the discussion. I've lost some on an audit, like, and didn't really care because it didn't affect anything. It was actually more hassle to go through. Just like, so I'm like, you know something? I filed it, done the documentation, I lost it, don't care. Take it off, doesn't matter. Any other questions? All right, and again, this can be downloaded. I will, I believe I did send it to Janice. I'll send it again. I'm not sure where it is, but since it's my server, I know that one's up there because I put it up there last night and double checked. Thank you very much.